Hey there everyone, in today's training we are going to talk about how to make an avoidant love you in 20 minutes or less. Now recently I got this really interesting message from one of my clients and she was able to make it happen. So I thought let's prepare a good training program for all of you so that you can follow her steps. Now in this training what we are going to do is we are going to cover certain topics. We're going to start with the psychological insights for attracting avoidants, understanding avoidance psychology, 3 magic question protocol for avoidance, key principles of conversational hypnosis for avoidance, attraction dynamic with avoidance, approaching avoidance, dealing with avoidant resistance and rejection, relationship sustainability with avoidance, and at the end, practical steps for connecting with avoidance. Now let's get started. Now let's start with the psychological insights for attracting avoidance. The very first thing that we need to focus on is understanding why are we even attracting avoidance into our life. And this is the foundation that we want to build up on. Before we can even begin conversational hypnosis, we need to understand the fundamentals of our own psychology. Now you see, attracting avoidant partner consistently speaks volumes about your subconscious blueprint and early emotional conditioning. Attraction towards an avoidant is quite revealing of your own subconscious patterns. Your attachment style plays a bigger role in attracting and nurturing the behavior of an avoidant. Healing your own subconscious attraction is fundamental to attracting an avoidant. Now, this is what I want you guys to understand over here. If you have observed a pattern of consistently attracting partners who are avoidant, then that means that your subconscious blueprint has something that we need to look into. So, let's look into that. If you have observed a pattern of attracting avoidant partners who consistently resist or reject you, you might have a trauma bond. Now let's dive into that. Your trauma bond pattern might originate from your childhood between the ages of 1 to 9, consisting of father wound and mother wound. And let's see what that father wound or that mother wound did to your subconscious mind. Now, we need to understand a father helps the child regulate 5 emotions. So your emotional connection with your father helps you develop these 5 emotions. Now these 5 emotions are self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity. Now in case there is a father wound, these 5 emotions can either be in excess or in deficit. But in order for you to be consistently attracting avoidant partners, there will be lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, lack of self-respect, lack of self-confidence, and sense of identity, which will lead you towards seeking avoidance, approval, or validation. Because you have all of these 5 traits by default in lacking inside your subconscious mind, which means your predominant neurological state has all 5 of these in lacking. So that makes you want to seek approval of an avoidant, and that might also be the dynamic within your childhood as well, but we need to just focus on the subconscious wound that you might have. Now, in order for you to also be attracting avoidant, you also need to have some kind of a mother wound. Now, a mother helps the child develop 5 traits as well. Now, these 5 traits are empathy, expression of love, nurturing, creativity, and spirituality. Now, for you to be consistently attracting avoidant partners, there might be a mother wound which makes all these 5 traits in excess. So there is an excessive development of empathy, expression of love, nurturing, creativity, and spirituality, which will lead towards obsessing over avoidance or excessive nurturing. You might even have savior complex where you feel like you need to save this avoidant, and you can save this avoidant by being overly nurturing towards them. Now, if that's the pattern you have, you will keep attracting partners who will avoid you. Now, this is the basic foundation of how to connect with an avoidant. So you need to understand that you need to heal your trauma bond to stop attracting or nurturing avoidant traits in your partner. And what do we mean by nurturing avoidant traits? That means if you have this subconscious pattern, if that is your predominant neurological state, you might also play a big role in nurturing an avoidant to avoid you. In simple terms, you're making the situation worse than it already is. Or even if you attract a partner who isn't an avoidant, your subconscious blueprint, which is your predominant neurological state, will make you behave in a particular manner that you will end up nurturing or conditioning your partner to behave like an avoidant. So the number one rule that I have when you are trying to attract an avoidant is you need to heal your predominant neurological state. Now there are several ways you can do that. You can go toward talk therapy, you can use NLP methods, you can use any kind of method, but what you need to focus on is to remove your father wound and your mother wound so that the traits that are associated with each of the parents become balanced. Now in my line of work, we do all of this through instant healing hypnosis, and even my client, when she came to me, she had this subconscious blueprint. So using instant healing hypnosis, we got inside her subconscious mind and removed her father wound and mother wound in less than 2 to 3 minutes, because that's how fast instant healing hypnosis is. But furthermore, we also did a lot of the work in her subconscious mind before she could even begin attracting this avoidant partner. So if that is something that would interest you guys, you can consider enrolling into my 15 days instant healing program. And the process is quite simple. You can sign up for a free mini therapy session. Now this free mini therapy session is part of my enrollment process, and that means once you apply for this free mini therapy session, I and my team will assess your application, and if I can promise you the results, I will allow you to enroll into my program. If I feel like I cannot promise you the results, I will refuse your application. But in this program, I also teach you conversational hypnosis that makes you a magnet in less than 1 minute, and you are going to get a taste of that in this training. Now let's go a bit further and understand who are we even dealing with. Now let's start with understanding an avoidant psychology. So we need to understand, first of all, who are we even dealing with. Understanding avoidant attachment is crucial for building meaningful connections. Avoidant individuals have unique emotional needs and coping mechanisms shaped by past experience, often making intimacy challenging for them. Recognizing their psychology allows for healthier, more empathetic interactions. Now, this is where I want you guys to understand, a lot of the time when we are in relationship, we are thinking from our own perspective. That blocks us from having a healthy relationship. And this is where I want you to understand that in order for you to make the relationship work, you need to be in the shoes of your partner. And this is me taking you into the shoes of an avoidant to give you a glimpse of how their subconscious mind works. And once you understand how their subconscious mind works, you will always have a good relationship with your partner. Whether it's an avoidant or anyone, you will always have good relationship with your partner. So let's understand the characteristics of avoidant attachment. Now, they have certain characteristics which we need to understand. They have fear of intimacy and closeness, leading to emotional distance. They have strong desire for independence and autonomy. They have difficulty expressing vulnerability or emotional needs. They have tendency to withdraw during emotional or relational stress. Now, this is the core foundation of an avoidant. Now, let's understand what are the causes and the underlying factors. Often, these characteristics stem from childhood emotional neglect or inconsistent caregiving. These people also have a father wound and a mother wound. You need to understand, but their expression in relationship is a direct reflection of their father wound and mother wound. And you might also observe when you connect with an avoidant, you might share a lot of similar experiences from your childhood, but their expression is different than yours. They have learned to associate intimacy and closeness with discomfort or fear. They have developed coping strategies centered around self-sufficiency and independence. Often at times, you're going to observe this with an avoidant that during their childhood, they might have been raised in an environment where they had an overly critical father, a mother who might even be absent or not as present as they wanted her mother to be. And that conditioned them to become self sufficient. And they avoid emotional connection because, according to them, emotional attachment comes with a lot of stress and vulnerabilities that can be misused against them, which might be what they went through during their childhood. Now, let's understand some effective communication strategies that we can have with an avoidant. Now, these are the foundations that we need to work with. Avoid overwhelming emotional expressions initially. Offer clear, respectful boundaries to ensure comfort. Gradually increase intimacy while respecting their need of space. Now, these three are the foundational blocks of what you are going to operate with. So you need to understand how their subconscious mind works and what are some of the foundational rules that we are working with. Now, these are the foundational rules, so write it down, just remember them whenever you are dealing with an avoidant. Now, naturally, once you heal your predominant neurological state, you wouldn't even need to note down these rules because they will be embedded into your subconscious mind. Your predominant neurological state will be so balanced that you don't even need to make notes about all of this. But let's go ahead and understand the 3 magic questions protocol for avoidance. This protocol provides a structured yet gentle approach to quickly establish comfort and trust with avoidant individuals. By employing questions that progressively deepen intimacy without overwhelming them, you create a safe space for authentic connection. Let's understand the purpose of function. Now, these 3 questions are tailored to create comfort and trust quickly. They gently elicit information without overwhelming the avoidant's emotional defenses. It helps determine if the avoidant person can gradually open up and feel safe with intimacy. So understand the foundation of the 3 questions that we are going to dive in. Now, you can use these 3 questions on anyone and they will always work. You can instantly create a deep bond with anyone if you just follow these 3 questions. And if you follow these 3 questions, you can just instantly build connection with anyone in your life. But it works really awesome on avoidance. Now, there are 3 levels of questions that we need to understand. The first level of question that we are going to ask is location or occasion based questions. Now, these questions are really non-threatening. Anyone would be happy to answer these questions for you because they deal with the location. So let's understand. Now, location and occasion based questions are simple, non-threatening conversation starters. So they are the icebreakers. Example, what brought you here today? Now, you see, if you went and asked anyone what brought you here today, they would be highly likely to answer this question. Anytime you ask someone a location-based question, the location means the mutual location that you guys are on. It can be a social media app, it can be a coffee shop, wherever you are. Even if you are at a coffee shop, you can ask something along the lines of, hey, I'm new here. I was just wondering, can you recommend me what's their best coffee? Now, if you observe, this is also a location-based question. So people are highly likely to feel non-threatened by location-based questions. So always start with location-based question. It doesn't matter if you know the person before or not. Anytime you start interacting with someone, start with the location-based questions. Now, once they answer these location-based questions, then you can move on to the career and passion-based question, which is layer number 2. Now, why do we want to talk about the career or passion? Because it encourages sharing in a safe context around neutral topics like career or interest. Example, what inspired you to choose your career? Or you can even ask, I was wondering, what do you do for a living? Now, this is something you can ask anyone, and people will not feel as threatened to answer about what they do for a living, because you have already broken the ice by asking them the location based questions. So now they know you, and they would be more willing to answer some non-threatening question, which is what do they do for a living. Now, the way I like to approach this, my approach is a bit different. I tend to ask people, I was really curious and I was wondering, what do you do for a living? And once they start telling me what do they do for a living, then I move towards passion, and then I ask the question something along the lines of, I was really wondering, is this your passion? Like, is this something that you always wanted to do? Now, the reason we are moving from their profession to their passion is because passion is something that people really love talking about. No matter what your passion is, you would love talking about your passion. Now, it doesn't matter if this person's profession is the same as their passion or they are different. We need to start having conversation on their passion, because the moment someone talks about their passion, their neurology shifts and they are now in a more passionate neurological state. And guess what? They are looking right at you while they're talking about their passion. So their subconscious mind will now record you inside their subconscious mind and associate the neurological state of passion. Do you see how smart it is? But it works flawlessly. The more you can make them talk about their passion, the better it is. Now, once you are done talking about their passion, you can move on to the third layer, which is past pleasant childhood experiences. Now, why do we want to talk about their past pleasant childhood experiences? This is because in our childhood, whatever experiences we had, they have a lot of neurological power. They have a lot of effect on us, and they are by far the strongest form of neurological state. So once you ask someone about their childhood experiences, their subconscious mind will bring back the memory of their childhood. And once they get that memory, they will also get the neurological state that they felt in that moment. So that means we are making them recall the strongest form of neurological state. And we are talking about a pleasant childhood memory. So once that neurological state comes up, the more you start talking about their pleasant childhood experience, that neurological state will now be associated with you inside their subconscious mind. Now, the reason we need to do this is because it connects to positive, non-threatening memories. We are talking about the pleasant memories. An example of this could be, what activities did you enjoy as a child? Now, the way I like to do this, the way I move from passion to pleasant childhood memory is, I ask the question something along the lines of, I'm really curious, is this something that you really enjoyed doing in your childhood? Or is this something that you really love doing as a child? Now, if you see, I slowly went into their childhood. While I was talking about their passion, I shifted the conversation to their pleasant childhood memory. Now, suddenly, when I'm talking about their childhood, and their subconscious mind is bringing back the memories of their pleasant experiences from their childhood, the neurological state is also coming back. And that is how these three magic question protocol work. You can try this with anyone in your life, but it works so good on Avoidant. Now, I don't care if you have met this person before or not. Anytime you want to start a conversation with someone, always apply the three magic question protocol, and you're going to observe that the conversation becomes deeper instantly. And I have used this very method while I am traveling and connecting with new people, and I will use this as a method of connecting with people, and I make so many friends just by following these three magic questions. Now, the secret sauce is, be a great listener. Do not interrupt them while they are speaking. When people are speaking to you, they are connecting with your subconscious mind and they are so immersed in the experience, they are almost in a state of trance. So conversational hypnosis is already working for you as long as they keep speaking. So just entertain whatever they are saying and keep listening. Now let's go a bit further and understand the key principles of conversational hypnosis for avoidance. You see, conversational hypnosis offers powerful tools to effectively communicate with avoidance. Employing identity level communication, the echo technique, and mindful non-verbal communication can significantly enhance connection and rapport. So let's understand how do we do that. So let's start with the self-image and comfort. You see, avoidants value autonomy, so respect their boundaries initially. So that's something that we already spoke about. So you need to understand, you need to respect their boundaries and do not push the conversation if they do not want to go in further. Then provide space and encourage independence within interaction. So whatever you guys are talking about, you need to provide them space, and you also need to acknowledge that they need their independence, and that will make them more comfortable around you. Their guards will go down. Then we need to talk about the neurological impact. Positive childhood recollection provide a safe emotional foundation, and we already spoke about this. Then stimulating these memories gently reduces emotional defenses, exactly what we want to do. Since avoidants have a lot of guard, they are always on the guard and they do not want to feel vulnerable. The best way to access their subconscious mind and build intimacy is to slowly talk about their positive childhood experiences. The moment we connect with them on their childhood experiences, the subconscious mind becomes way too attracted to the person that they are talking to. Then, identity level communication. Connect gently around safe topics to establish rapport without emotional pressure. Reinforce feelings of acceptance and non-threat. Now, what does that mean? Anytime that they are talking, you need to understand that you need to accept their perception of reality. Even if you do not agree with them, validate their experiences, relate with them, and that will create strong rapport between you and an avoidant. Then, this is the most important part, the echo technique. Precisely echo the avoidance language to validate their comfort level. It builds trust by reflecting understanding without intrusiveness, because you need to understand. Anytime that we speak, the sort of linguistic we use, the choice of word we have, there is a lot of context behind it. I'll give you an example. If I ask you, how was your day? And you reply by saying it was good. Now, I have no idea what do you mean by saying it was good. The moment I asked you the question, what your subconscious mind did is it replayed your entire day inside your subconscious mind and chose the word I am good. Now, the phrase I am good represents the context. So anytime I ask someone, what do you feel about meditation? And someone says, I think it is a really valuable tool. Now the linguistic that they are using is valuable tool. What does valuable tool even means? I have no idea. But when I will speak to them, I will use the term valuable tool more often, because this is the word that they associate with. So the linguistic that an avoidant uses, you need to start embedding those words into your conversation. So the word choice, you need to focus on that. The phrases that they speak, you need to understand that you need to start repeating those phrases back to them. It's almost like training a parrot. Have you seen, if you say a phrase to a parrot, the parrot will repeat it back to you. So take that as an example. Take this method as being a parrot. So become a parrot when you are with an avoidant. You just need to start using their linguistic and you will observe they will connect so fast with you and they will start speaking more and more. Then the last thing that we need to look into is non-verbal communication. Maintain comfortable, non-aggressive eye contact. Open, relaxed body language to promote safety. Now, why am I saying over here non-aggressive eye contact? I don't want you to stare them in the eyes and just look for what they are saying. Don't become an observant eye. Make sure that your eye contact is subtle. Make eye contact as much as they are making with you. That is the secret. Your body language should not be aggressive. What do I mean by your body language shouldn't be aggressive? Don't stand like Superman, just putting your hand on your waist. That gives off the vibe of you are looking for an answer or you're observing something, and that is a threatening way or a very dominating way. The best way I can summarize this point is mirror their body language. Whatever their body language is, become a mirror to them, and that works flawlessly. Now let's start by understanding the attraction dynamics with avoidance. Building and sustaining attraction with avoidance involves carefully balancing closeness and independence. Understanding these dynamics allows for healthy relational tension, maintaining their interests without triggering withdrawal behavior. So remember, if you become way too intimate with them too fast, you're going to push them away. So we need to find the right balance. So what is the right balance? Now, the first thing we want to do is we need to start with rapport building. And what is rapport? Mirror non-threatening behaviors and emotional expressions, exactly what I was talking about. Become a mirror to their body. As if they are looking into the mirror, your body should behave like that. Allow the avoidant to set the pace of interaction, exactly what we were talking about. Do not push the conversation more than they want to talk about it. Then mirror their body language to build resonance, exactly what we were talking about. And why does this even work? Have you observed something? If you look yourself in the mirror, do you get startled? You don't, because your reflection is moving exactly the way that your body is moving. Imagine if you saw yourself in the mirror and your reflection was not moving the way you were moving your body. Wouldn't you be haunted by that? That is our subconscious way of understanding who we are familiar with. So if you become a reflection of their body language, you will subconsciously make them feel more comfortable. Their subconscious mind will feel like you are part of their tribe, and their subconscious mind will feel like you are a part of them. That will make them open up to you easily. And observe this. I want you to try this out, and you're going to love how this works magically. Then, once we have built up the rapport, we need to start maintaining the attraction. And how to do that? Ensure ongoing interaction remains unpredictable yet comfortable. Avoid excessive routine, giving the avoidant space for autonomy. Remain calm while giving them space. That means in your interaction with an avoidant, avoid routines, because these people often need to find their own space to collect their own thoughts. And if you have a routine in place with them, like we have to talk at 7 p.m., that will not work out. That will create so much emotional stress. So keep the interaction open-ended. That means however it flows, whenever they come to you is when you start using conversational hypnosis and rapport building and everything that I'm teaching you. But once they are not reaching out to you, do not invade their private space. You will subconsciously be seen as a threat, and they will withdraw from that interaction, and that's something I do not want you to do. That means you need to practice patience. And I know if you haven't healed, being patient is something that you might even struggle with, but I want you to be patient. So now let's talk about how you can approach avoidance. You see, approaching an avoidant individual effectively involves using non-threatening, inviting gestures. Positive eye contact and open body language signals safety and acceptance, essential for encouraging their willingness to engage. Let's talk about that. Positive and non-threatening eye contact. We have already spoken about this, but let's go a bit deeper. Friendly yet non-invasive. Gentle smile and brief eye contact create a welcoming environment. Highlight the word brief. Do not stare at them. They will feel really threatened if you do excessive eye contact. So your eye contact should remain non-invasive. That means just mirror them. Exactly what I told you before, just keep mirroring them. Whatever I'm teaching you right now is something that you need to understand at the back of your mind. But if you are mirroring them, you don't even need to recall all these steps because you would be doing exactly what they expect you to do. Then open body language, non-confrontational stance to communicate safety and openness. Like I said, your body language shouldn't be aggressive. You shouldn't have a body language that makes them feel as you are someone who is dominating or someone who is really invasive. So once again, the best way is mirror their body language. The easiest way of it all is mirror their body language. Now let's talk about dealing with avoidance, resistance, and rejection. This is really important now. Handling resistance or rejection from avoidant is critical in maintaining potential relationships. Knowing how to gracefully navigate their resistance ensures that interactions remain positive and respectful, allowing future opportunities for deeper connection. If you observe, this might sound easy, but this isn't as easy. If you are over here and you're trying to learn this from me, chances are you might have dealt with situations where this was the hardest part, but you need to understand what you need to do. Compliance and testing. Understand, avoidants will test boundaries for safety. They do this a lot. And take this from someone who was an avoidant, which is me. I used to do this a lot. So understand this. Respond respectfully and without pressure. That means an avoidant will test the boundaries. They will test if you are invasive or not. And if you fail their test, they will withdraw from having a relationship with you. The best way is, once again, mirror whatever they are doing. That's the best way. Then, gracefully handling of resistance. Acknowledge their comfort levels, offer gentle exits if necessary. Now, this is the most important part. Here, I want you to understand, if at any given time you feel like they are resisting the interaction, do not force them to interact with you. I want you to gracefully take an exit. And how do you do that? You can say something along the lines of, I understand you need your space right now, but whenever you feel like talking, you can reach out to me and I'll give you your space. This is the most graceful way of taking an exit, because an avoidant would understand that you are respecting their boundary, you are giving them the space that they need, and you have opened a door for conversation whenever they are willing. And if you do this, trust me, you will gain their respect, and you will need their respect if you want to have a relationship with them. And I say that with experience of being an avoidant. I was an avoidant, not now, but I used to be an avoidant. So this is something that would really work on me if I was an avoidant. Now, lastly, healing your subconscious predominant neurological state. Healing the predominant neurological state makes you less prone to nurturing an avoidant to avoid you. So everything that I said up until now in this section, if you just heal your predominant neurological state, that means healing your father wound and your mother wound and balancing the traits that are associated with each of the parents, you will be able to handle this very gracefully. Not only that, the avoidant will feel a lot attracted to you because your traits are so balanced that they would want to associate more with you. But if you haven't healed, you might even nurture them with your frustration, with your need to emotionally connect with them. You might nurture them to avoid you even more. So the best way that I have found with regards to even myself and a lot of my clients is healing your predominant neurological state. That means the conditioning that you went through between the ages of 1 to 9, that will not only change your attraction towards avoidant, but it will also make you a magnet for each and every one, because people like to associate with people who are really balanced with their masculine and feminine traits. And that can only be possible once you have healed your predominant neurological state using any kind of therapy that you want to use. In section 8, let's talk about relationship sustainability with avoidant. So let's say you have bagged an avoidant. Congratulations. Now, how can you sustain this relationship? You see, sustaining relationship with avoidant partners involves consistently affirming their need for autonomy and emotional safety. Understanding and respecting these needs fosters a long-term environment in which avoidants feel secure and valued. But I'll give you a great insight. If you can do what we are about to talk about, you will not only make them feel safe, these avoidants will no longer be avoidants. Trust me on that. Because it worked on me, it can work on other avoidants as well. And I have coached a lot of the people and they have found the results as well. So understand this. Importance of comfort and autonomy. Reinforce the avoidant sense of independence and respect for boundaries. A firm understanding of their emotional safety needs. So you need to acknowledge their emotional safety and how they feel emotionally safe. Whatever their need is, I want you to be considerate about that. And if they have certain boundaries, please respect that. If you do not respect that, you are going to lose them in the long run. So trust me, whatever boundaries they have, if they feel that they need certain space during the day for them to give them their own me time, give them their me time. I do this a lot. I need a lot of me time throughout the day to first of all collect my thoughts, and then I go and engage with people. So even when I have healed, I still want my me time, and avoidants really want their me time. So if they are looking for their me time, do not invade their privacy and do not invade their boundaries, because they will be really frustrated by that. Then managing emotional distance, which is the hardest part for a lot of us. Gently invite deeper connection without pressure. Allow the avoidant time and space to gradually open up. That means now that you are in a relationship with an avoidant and you want to go in deeper and you want to talk about more intense topics, open the topic up for them. Such as, I really want to understand about what happened during your childhood. But there is no pressure. Whenever you feel like talking, I'm here to listen to you, and I would be really interested to know and understand your perspective of life. You see how that invites the person at their own pace? That's exactly what you need to do. Now, one of my ex used to be really invasive about, talk to me about your childhood bad experiences, talk to me about what you went through, and I used to feel threatened. It's almost like having me at a gunpoint talk about my traumatic experiences of life. That doesn't work. So understand this. You can initiate a conversation or a topic, but give them their own pace to open up about it. Then what you need to do is managing your neurological state / predominant neurological state. Set your neurological state right before every interaction and after every interaction. Why do you need to do this? Anytime you go and interact with someone, your subconscious mind will connect with their subconscious mind. Whatever you are feeling inside will be transferred inside their subconscious mind. A great example is, have you seen that anytime one of your friend comes to you, they haven't spoken a word, but you can just sense that they are angry. Even without speaking a word, you can sense that, because your subconscious mind have connected. Now, whatever conversation you are going to have with this particular friend, you are going to be very considerate about their anger, because they have already transferred their neurological state inside your subconscious mind. So anytime you go and interact with an avoidant, make sure that your own neurological state, your feelings are all set in place and they are positive. Because if you have a negative neurological state, you have had a bad day and you go to an avoidant and be like, I want to talk to you, they would run away. Trust me, try it out if you want to try it out, but they would run away. They can sense a negative neurological state miles away. And why do you need to also check your neurological state after the interaction? Because remember, when your subconscious mind connects with their subconscious mind, even their neurological state will be transferred inside your subconscious mind. So, just in case, even after meeting them, give yourself a quick check. What are you feeling right now? Was this something that you were feeling before the interaction? Or is this something you are feeling only after interacting with them? And if you are feeling this after interacting with them, chances are this is the neurological state that they were holding on to and it is now transferred inside your subconscious mind. So I do not want you to operate on their neurological state. You might mess it up. That's the reason you need to check your neurological state before your interaction and after your interaction. Now, you might say, this is so much work. Making a relationship work with an avoidant sounds like this is so much effort. You don't have to do any one of the things that I'm telling you if you heal your subconscious blueprint to obtain a balanced predominant neurological state. That means if you heal your father wound and your mother wound, you wouldn't even need to do all these checks, because your predominant neurological state, which is your default emotional setting, will be so balanced that anytime you connect with them, you are connecting from that balanced neurological state. And anytime that interaction ends, you will still have that balanced neurological state, because that is your predominant neurological state. That's why I always emphasize the best way is to heal your predominant neurological state and everything falls into place. Now let's talk about the last section, which is the practical steps for connecting with avoidants. Applying practical and easy to follow strategies ensures successful interaction with avoidants. By initiating safe conversation, observing nonverbal cues, and engaging comfortably at their pace, you maximize your chances of building lasting rapport and intimacy. So how do we do that? Number one, heal your trauma bond and pattern. Exactly what I was talking about. Healing trauma bond resets your predominant neurological state that makes an avoidant more attracted to you. You see, if you heal your childhood conditioning, your father wound and your mother wound, you don't even need to do anything. Your default setting is something that is operating on autopilot. You don't need to do anything. If you haven't healed, set your neurological state right before interaction. Exactly what we were talking about. Listen to positive songs, watch some good content, or recall a warm moment from your past. Now, why do I say listen to good songs? I want you to listen to good songs that make you feel good. Not bad, not sad. Watch some content which is good, which triggers a positive neurological state inside your subconscious mind and your body. And the best of them all is recall a positive childhood memory, because we already spoke about this. Childhood memories have the strongest neurological state. So anytime you recall a childhood memory, the neurological state also comes back. And that neurological state is really strong. So what you can do is close your eyes, recall a positive childhood memory. Live this memory, recall this memory for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is all that your subconscious mind needs to recall the neurological state of any given moment, and your subconscious mind will bring back the neurological state that you felt within that particular moment. And once you have that neurological state, then you can go on and start your interaction with an avoidant. But if you have healed your predominant neurological state already, you don't need to do this step at all. Then, second is initiating safe conversation. Use neutral topics to initiate comfortable dialogue. Always start with the 3 magic questions. Number 3 is observing non-verbal cues. Monitor comfort and engagement through body language cues. Mirror their body language to create resonance. So in simple words, just mirror their body language and that's all. Now the last point is engaging comfortably. Use their language and pace interactions according to their comfort level. Allow them to retreat and come back. And if you are mirroring them, you don't even need to think and recall what I just told you, because you would be doing that by default. And that is the master plan to attract any avoidant in less than 20 minutes. Now, trust me, if you follow the steps that I have taught you today and you go and practice these steps, I promise you, in less than 20 minutes, you will be having a deep conversation with your avoidant partner. But if you would like to go in deeper, reset your predominant neurological state and heal your father wound and your mother wound and learn the art of instant healing hypnosis and conversational hypnosis, which is way advanced than what I have taught you today, in my 15 days instant healing program, I provide all of these to you with the promise that you're going to get the results or you get your money back. And the process, as I said, is quite simple. You can sign up for a free mini therapy session with me, which is part of my enrollment process. My team and I will assess your application, and if we deem you fit for my program, we will allow you to enroll or we might refuse you. Now, I really hope that this video helps you guys out. I have placed in a lot of effort to develop this training program for you. Don't forget to watch my other training programs. You will get a lot of insight inside your subconscious mind and what you can do to completely transform your life. And the best way to show some love towards me and my efforts is to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video with someone who can use this information to transform their life. I'll see you guys in the next video. Up until then, stay happy, stay blessed, and keep healing. Bye-bye.